So we're gonna break into what happened back then when we were sparring.
Why is it going so fast with me? Shot!
I got cornered and I couldn't move. I was trying to push you away, I was trying to kick you, I was trying to punch you, and he just basically just put me back in the same spot almost every single time. So one of my top concerns is that what do you do against someone who might be better skills in terms of skill set, speed? What do you do when you go against the wall?
When I get caught against the wall.
Yeah.
So the first thing that I'm recognizing against the wall is I have to look at my body position. I was saying this to Sensei Seth before. He was like, oh, I had the same problem against you. I was getting caught and you were hitting me and I was trying to block. But this doesn't work, right? I'm trying to block here, but now my head's open. I try to block here. So I can't maintain this position right here. I have to curl. Because now my hands can protect my head, but they can also protect my body.
Nice.
And I never want to be flat, because now if I get hit, I'm going to be in big trouble, especially if it's a cage. I'm going to be bouncing here. So if I need to sit, I can just go to there. Now it's going to be a lot harder for you to land. That's the first thing. So I want to make sure that I'm defensively sound. Other things I can do is obviously try and take angles. Angles are going to be great, but if the guy's really good, like I'm really good at tracking people, as they move.
That's what he did to me.
Yeah, as they move, I just stay right in front of them, and you're not going to escape. You're not going to escape unless you have some fantastic slipping movement. You move that way, I'm just going to follow you. Move that way, I'm going to follow you. So we have to look at other ways now. How are we going to get in and disrupt this guy? One of the easy ways, which a lot of the high-level kickboxers, they're able to take that leg and just pull it out. And now I can take my angle. So if you're here and I'm all over you, and you can just catch the inside of the foot, and now you angle up. You don't worry about anything.
Okay.
It's not going to be pull and hit. It's just going to be pull and get out.
I did do that at one point.
Yeah.
It didn't work.
Maybe
my timing was
I
off.
think you were going a little bit
Too
there.
high?
Yeah,
Yeah.
it has to be a little bit lower.
I think the problem with me is when I pull, I didn't commit to it.
Maybe.
I did one of this thing and I go boom. You step halfway, but I think your recovery time was so fast. You just pull it back and bam.
Yeah, and then in addition, if you're going, okay, I can't go this direction. I can't attack the leg. I can also go for the head. Because the head is going to be very easy for me to control. So if you're throwing at me, generally you're not going to be going really long.
Yeah.
Right? Because
Shorter.
yeah, it's going to be shorter. Because if it's really long, then I'll have the ability to move. It's when you're in here and you're going like that. Yeah. So I can try and lock up, and now from here for me to spin is going to be so much easier because I control your head.
That makes sense.
So you just make sure you keep everything buried. You come straight out. Make sure your shoulders are protecting your jaw. So if they keep throwing, which they will be, most likely I'm throwing, you get my head. Yeah, and now I can't do anything.
And then come out.
Perfect.
That's great.
Yeah.
That was
Yeah.
a great tip. Thank you, sir.
Yeah, I got something for this. Gabriel,
Okay.
One of the issues that you run into when it was Gabriel's posture when he had you on the wall,
Yeah.
you pointed this out, is different than his open mat posture.
Yes.
Correct.
So assume your normal fighting stance.
Yeah, so I'm just normally here.
Right? But once he had you cornered, he changed that fighting stance.
Yes.
Look at this. So we're creating some architecture here. Straight line from here to here. This is a spear set in the ground. You can't go through that. Right?
Yeah.
And the issue, what's the issue? If the answer was be bigger, stronger, and beat him up, you wouldn't be over here. He's bigger, stronger, beating you up. So when he does that, right, it's a wrestling principle just applied to striking. Change your level, put your head under his gloves, and pick him up, and then move him. You have to get head position. Head position.
Yeah.
A headbutt is just wrestling head position applied dynamically. That's all a headbutt is. It's not this. And you can use that same principle in a striking exchange. It's just the moment of connection is more fleeting. But I have a technique too. If you like, Gabriel's answers are all probably the right answers. But it's like, but it's like if I could do all that, I wouldn't be here. I have an ugly ass punch called the jab shove it that's specifically for this scenario, and it's I'm not gonna out jab Gabriel. It's not gonna happen, right? And they say don't push your punches unless you mean to, right? So when I hunker down, I'm gonna send this like a punch. I want him to read punch, so maybe he thinks about pulling it, how he would defend it, whatever you would do to defend it. But I'm gonna aim it as like where his chin is meeting his chest. Aim low.
Yeah.
So I get a better handle on him. If you aim up here, he can move his head or parry or whatever. I'm aiming here, and I need to get my shoulder under my hand so I can buttress with this foot. The same principle he's using to keep you here, and push like this. And I like to do two. So you start slapping me up, right? And I don't care what he's doing. Hunker down, do what he's doing, but do it lower. Change levels and push, push. And then as long as you keep your feet with you, your follow-up will be just normal. Just he hunkers down, he's battering me. Hunker down, shove, shove, boom, or shove, shove, bang. Achieve your positional, fix the position, and then escape, just like in grappling.
Yeah.
People forget that there's positions in striking because they just happen for a split second. But you can't do a Hail Mary escape in jiu-jitsu. You have to fix your position up and then make your escape. So you have to fight your way out instead of running.
I like that a lot too.
Yeah, I got a drill. I want to piggyback off this a little bit. I think what happens is when we're in this situation in sparring and in a fight is you go, oh no, my back's up against the ropes and they're beating me up and I'm in survival mode. And that word right there, this is a drill from Coach K at CSA Gym. He calls this a survival drill. And what they do is, so I'm going to have you here, is one partner's on the wall. They have their foot against the wall, and then the other partner is going to throw punches, right? And they're not trying to kill you, but they are trying to overwhelm a little bit. Every 3 punches, I can throw a counter back. Bang. 1, 2, but more than anything, I'm trying to just focus on keeping my eyes open. Bang. At any point, I can step in and initiate the clinch. Bang. Now, in a real fight, that could be an elbow. Bang, and step in. Right? Bang. But obviously, when we're working with partners, we have to be very careful to tie up and not elbow our partner. From here, now we can turn, because the same principle that Mike talked about with the spear, if you think about this, right, he's leaning this way, then I'm going to pull him in that direction that he's leaning. So if I'm here, then I can turn and cut that angle here. Head and arm position to me is like the most important thing. So when I'm teaching knees or anything in the clinch, I'm making sure that my students have proper positioning with the hands, right? Oftentimes when we say, all right, let's get into the clinch, they go like this, they go like this, right? So if I'm ever grabbing to the head, like maybe I want to throw a knee, I always say mohawk position. So my forearm is lining right where a mohawk would be. And this is going to give me optimal grip on your head. So now I'm turning and controlling here. I also have another hand on the arms, right? I can also lift on the arms too. So if I have a grip here, I'm stepping, I'm using my whole body like I'm pulling a car, and then I'm turning the body and getting to that angle. So the drill again is the survival drill. You're throwing, every 3 shots I get a strike back. I can clinch, step, I whip, and I work. And now it's my turn. Right now I'm punching and you're working. Every 3, yep. Yep. You can initiate that clinch. Yep. Yeah. And then you out. One last detail too is if you are going for this whipping motion, think about grabbing the ear and pulling it into the back pocket. TJ the Thinking Man, this is one I gotta give credit to. I took his course online. Grab this ear and pull it all the way to your back pocket. It's going to give you the most leverage. I think a lot of people tend to go circular this way.
I do that.
You want to pull their head towards the ground. So they go like that.
Yeah.
Yep.
Love it.
Cool.
Well, thank you guys. Yes,
Jared.
Jared's got
yeah.
one. Okay.
So, so what I actually got caught up on the wall too when I was sparring Gabe. So what I was looking for was him to kind of collapse on me, and with those strikes, so if he was here and he threw that jab. So my first thing is I think that priority is location. So if he threw the jab long, get under, lift, and kind of walk. And then like do some turning stuff as well, but almost like thinking about which way to turn, because if I feel like if I'm here, or even if I got you in the clinch here without I got you in the clinch here. If I do this, you're staying on your power leg, and you still have the power punch. But if I take you to the lead side, you have to pick up that power leg, and you're pivoting on the lead foot, and that takes your power away, and then
sense.
Get you out of position, throw the combination, and without the risk of you coming back with a hard punch.
That's a good one too. Well, thank you guys. That was a great tips, because hopefully that you guys get some tips too. And if you got any questions, please leave the comment below, and I'll see you guys next week.